everybody. Welcome to All Over Bar the Cricket. We are midst an Ashes Test series in Australia, so there is so much to discuss. Usman Khawaja, did he land himself in trouble with his description of the Perth Test match pitch? Was he accurate with that description? Who Australia going to pick for this upcoming Test match? And the Poms, can they bounce back? There's lots and lots and lots ahead of us. No helmets for the scooter wearers in Brisbane. But all of that we're going to put aside for a second, and we are going to deal with the elephant in the room, Matty Hayden, and that is our idiot friend on this podcast. Gregory Blewett has decided well into his 50s to play a game of cricket, and the all-over bar the cricket superstar has blown his Achilles up and is now no good to any of us. Blewie, what the hell?
Hang on.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh,
There we go.
oh!
There it is.
The full bullet.
There it is.
No.
The full bullet.
Fetlocker's
Stop.
gone.
Oh, my God.
Now, firstly, I'm going to apologise.
You
I'm
need
going
to.
to apologise to the Berwick Springs Cricket Club.
I thought you were apologising to us.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
I'm never going to apologise to you blokes. I need to apologise to them because they got me up there, Haydos.
Yeah.
I was their
No.
marquee player for their start of their T20 competition.
Yeah.
No.
I was meant to play 2 games in the same day, and I lasted 1 delivery
Yeah.
Blue boy.
out of the 2 games. 1 delivery,
No.
which I missed. I missed the first ball. So did the keeper, Haydos. So I took off. I got called through for a bye,
yeah.
and then bang, away she went.
Oh, mate.
Felt the snap straight away, and that was it.
Blue, this might
That was it.
be a sensitive question, but I want to try and get to the bottom of your preparation. What did that look like? Was there
Yes.
any diet?
Well, I've got 2 boys, Haydos, so I play a lot of cricket with them. I'm mainly throwing and bowling balls to them. But in the lead up to this is how committed I was.
Oh.
I've got a bit of tennis elbow in my left arm, so I went and got a quarter zone
Oh,
because I picked
No.
up a bat during the week and I went, shit, that hurts. So
No.
I got a quarter zone. This is how committed I am to the Berwick Springs Cricket Club. But I went in fresh. No, actually, I'll lie. I went down to the nets and bowled about 4 overs, and it felt pretty good.
oh, what were you doing?
Threw a few balls up in the air just to sort of, get some balls in the hand.
Yeah.
And that was, so I put in.
Yeah.
All right. So here's my question, because I think Doss's was a very good question. You've got priors blowing up games of cricket as an old man. So this has just happened to you. The last one you played, you blew your hamstring up.
Yep.
The previous one before that, which I stupidly agreed to play in as well, you got dinged in the ribs and nearly caved a rib in.
Can't remember that one.
And then one prior to that, in the field, your finger got pushed back into your hand, and that was in a cast for a year.
Oh,
So is any
Yes.
of this starting
Yeah.
to sink in that maybe you shouldn't play cricket anymore?
Actually, that's a bloody good call, isn't it? This is all post-retirement. So, Haydos, I had that thumb blown off.
Uh-huh.
The top of that thumb was back here with the bones sticking out. So that was post-retirement. And you're right, the previous game leading into this one was 10 years ago down in Tassie. And I hit this beautiful shot the mid-off, and this young kid attacked the ball and was going to throw my stumps down. I went, right, I'm going to have to get in here. And then I outstretched, and then they reckon they haven't seen a hamstring tendon like it, Haydos. It was shredded like a ragu, a slow cooked ragu.
that's a lofty
So
description.
that's it. Actually, you're right.
Yeah, done.
I'm officially done. That's
well, Bluey,
it. So,
it's taken you 3 more games than it
Yeah.
should have to realise.
yeah, you're right.
And JB,
You're right.
the other thing is,
What was I thinking?
Well, you weren't thinking.
the other thing is, JB, is that I can't believe that such trauma can happen to such small appendages. Like Bluey's calves,
Oh, I know. The legs.
they're built like a PVC pipe. And as for the tennis elbow, all he'd need to do is plait some of his forearm hairs, and that'd make some sort of bandage over the top of that. That'd fix that up.
Listen to bloody Kojak there without any hair. Hey, Listen,
Yeah.
one thing I'll say about that, Haydos, is that what happened to the last time you played cricket, by the way?
Okay.
I think you might have sustained an injury.
So I never got a soft tissue injury in my entire playing career. I played a game for post-traumatic stress disorder at the Oval in 2010. I ripped my quad in half. So bang, I was straight in the trenches. That's the first one. Never got it repaired. So at the moment, after about a decade or more, I've still got a massive hole in my quad. And then last year, stupidly, I came out of retirement.
Calcification.
Oh, massive calcification. And then last year, I came out of retirement. I was smashing it on 30, thinking, how good am I? This little dibbly-dobbly spinner that came on from the police force. We were playing the Queensland Police. And I thought, yes, I'll be having some of you. So I've gone down, smashed one, top-edged it, and at backward point, this guy's running in, dropped it, and now I'm in a situation I've got to run. Kapow! So calf, but unlike you, mate, when my calf goes, I'm telling you, it's a rupture of note. The radiographer is not guessing where it is that there's a bleed.
Well, that's the other thing. They reckon, because I'm going to be in this moon boot for about 3 months, and they said, you're going to have to build your calf back up. I said, no, I won't. There's nothing to build up.
Well, Blewie, the lesson is there now for you. Yes. Never again.
I've learnt my lesson.
Never again.
All right.
Hey, getting back to Perth, and I know that's done and dusted, and we're going to have a look ahead, obviously, because the big game in Vegas is about to start. But Usman Khawaja, at a lunch, has spoken pretty openly about the Perth pitch. He called it a piece of shit, I think, actually, which landed him in the SH1T a touch. But I am, because the thing that astounded me out of that game, boys, was that pitch by the ICC was judged very good. Had 19 wickets fell on day one, and 13 wickets fell on 3/4 of a day on day two. I don't think that's a very good pitch. I don't think you can say very good to that. So I'm more heading Usman's way than the ICC's way, I've got to be honest. I mean, we talked about this before the series even started. There's so much fruit, so much soup in the pitches now. Maybe we're just thinking that's very good. But for me, there was way too much going on. You don't see players get hit on the body. You don't see, Cam Green off a length getting, properly filled in. I'm going to ask you your opinion, but I don't think I'm quite where Uz was, calling it a piece of you-know-what. But I can't call that pitch very good.
Well, I actually didn't think it was anywhere near as bad as what Usman was saying. And I think it was better than what you're suggesting as well, James. So I think if you look at most of those 19 wickets, I reckon a lot of it was very, very poor batting, right? And it took an innings from Travis Head. Yes, I know it was an innings like out of the book. Like it was an absolute beauty, right? So I get that. But if you look back at that test match, and I was harping on about it at the time, if you got through the first 20 overs, that ball softened up. It wasn't a bad pitch to bat on. So I know I'm going to sound old school, but what happened to, winning the toss on a pitch that was doing a bit, you get through the first session, 1 or 2 down, and then you cash in for the rest of the day leading into, the second day, if you can get that far as well. There's no way that pitch was 19 wickets or whatever it was in 2 days. It was better than that. I don't know what you think, Dos.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you before I throw to Dos. I don't think it was as bad as that, but it's not very good. That's not a very good pitch. I don't know what ranking you've got above very good.
But we don't know, James. We don't know because the game went for 2 days. It could have been a very good pitch, and that's what they've probably judged it on. If it went for 4 or 5 days, it could have been a really good pitch.
Okay, but let's do go through the run sheet, if you like, of those that are adjudicating it. And so what we do know is that they do moisture tests, they do bounce tests. So they do length of grass, obviously. They have. It's not just like this number that comes out of the blue and it gets written down, and that's what it is. So I'm with Blewie. I think that the timing of Uzi's comments when you just want a man to put his head down and keep his place and play well in Brisbane, something that we're all hoping that Usman does. But your timing of that comment when you've missed out, and by the way, Usman got a belter. He got one of the few real good balls, actually. It just about tore his gloves off, and that's allowed to happen on a day one pitch. And I certainly don't subscribe to the theory that I have been hearing for the last couple of years, and that is that all of the wickets, almost bar none, have got a lot more spice in it in Australia. I'm not sure that that's 100% accurate, and especially at first class level, because I feel like you're retrofitting that into batting techniques, which hasn't, with the aggressive mindset, the attacking scoring rates that are required to play the modern game, that just lend weight to technical flaws. Like Harry Brook, for God's sake, backing away Mitchell Starc, the over before lunch and the over before the collapse. If that is us in our generation playing that shot, we are met with the great Alan Border going, listen here, you little whatever, whatever, whatever. You play a shot like that again and you are never playing for anything again. Like there has to be a moment where you have some application. That was a moment where it was about positioning your country into a position where you can't lose. And England they just put a torch to the hopes of that first test match because it was terrible batting. It wasn't good batting. It was shocking batting on, I think, a good wicket. A very good wicket? I don't think it was a very good wicket.
No, I don't either. And if I'm a player, I'm taking offence to that judging because it's the fastest ever finished Ashes test, I think. There's never been an Ashes test in the history of cricket over quicker than this. So if you're saying that's happened on a very good pitch, what you're then saying is the cricketers playing the game are rubbish.
Yep.
Well, I think what's happened is, as what Haydos is saying, that the way that particularly England want to play is fast forward cricket. And we saw every time, wasn't every time, but most of the time they tried to take a risk. They got out on surfaces like that. So I don't think Australia could bat much worse than they did in the first innings as well. Right. So I thought there was a major contribution to the result of that game on that pitch was a lot to do with the way that both teams went about it.
And the media has been having a field day, right, with England, not playing and going up and, even there was pink balls getting sent up to Neser where they were playing golf and all sorts of shenanigans. But I don't think they've necessarily got it too wrong, meaning that there's no point to go down to Manuka Oval and playing a game down there when you're facing the Gabba. We all know how bloody good the wickets are, especially the practice wickets at the Gabba, and how similar they are to the very unique set of circumstances that's going to confront both of these two teams. I don't think it's an obvious home advantage, frankly. I think this wicket is so different to anything else across Australia that getting in the nets up here, arriving nice and early like they definitely would have, and playing in these nets is a whole lot better than, stressing out over how you're performing on Manuka Oval, which is generally a road. And if it's not, then it's definitely not the Gabba anyway.
All right, boys, what happens to the teams coming into this game? As Australia have announced an unchanged squad. That doesn't necessarily mean their team's going to be exactly the same. And Mark Wood is out. Blewie, what's happening?
Yeah, Wood is out with that sore left knee. There were times when he was walking off the field, whether it was at a break or at the end of the day's play, whatever it was, that I noticed he was limping badly. So that's a concern going forward as well, because how many overs did he bowl for the test? Not many. So, yeah, he's got some real concerns about his fitness going forward. I don't think they'll make many changes. I can see us maybe making a few. I thought Doggett was serviceable in the first test match. I've seen him bowl a lot better than that. But I just wonder whether Michael Neser will come into calculations, having played so much cricket up there at the Gabba. It's a pink ball. He'll bowl a little bit fuller, swing the ball both ways. He's a great fielder, very handy with the bat as well. Doggett would be very unlucky to miss out, of course. The other thing too, I wouldn't be surprised if Pat Cummins plays. Like I know that they've said, yeah, absolutely. Okay. I still think he's a real chance. He's prepped. He was left out of the 15-man squad initially, so everyone thought, oh, well, he's definitely not going to play. But I'm hearing he's preparing as if he wants to play in this Test match.
Bluey, the only thing I'm thinking about is the GOAT, and what role that he's going to play through this Test match and under lights. And it raises that question in and around the all-rounders again. We didn't see a lot of Greeny. What did he bowl for the game? He maybe 8 overs in total, probably even less than that, actually.
Max.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's right. So maybe you're right with Neser. I mean, Bo Webster, remember, he was hot. He was a hot topic coming into the first Test match. Whether that role can be filled with an all-rounder. You mentioned, obviously, Neser. But, what does it look like with Bo Webster in the side as well, playing 2 all-rounders? Bo's done nothing wrong in Test match cricket as far as I'm concerned. And I think his length and his height, actually, will be a very handy asset for a bit of cover for Green as well. Jim, I hope you're right about Pat Cummins, Blue. I really hope you've got some mail there, because that'd be just such a bankable commodity on this wicket. If he's up and running, Pat Cummins would be a nightmare on this Gabba wicket.
Well, I think too, JB, just to cut in there about Nathan Lyon, Haydos, let's not forget there's only one session each day under lights. So I've seen the pink ball at the Gabba really flatten out when it gets soft. So I've got a feeling they'd love Nathan Lyon to bowl some overs, particularly during those middle sessions, between,
good call,
those 2 hours in between, whatever they call it, lunch and dinner, whatever it is, leading into the last session. So I'd be surprised if Lino doesn't play.
The other thing I want to see as a, just fascinated by this whole English way of playing, is I want to see their batters against an extended spell from Lino and what they do. What does Harry Brook do? What does Stokes do? What does Smith do? Because we all, have heard about the whole aggression Bazball thing. But we didn't see Lino really bowl much at all in Perth. So, the Gabba will give him some bounce and he works well with that. I would just like to see a half-hour spell from Lino and see what their batters really do against him, whether they come down and go after him. The boundaries at the Gabba are straight, but they take that on, and then how Lino responds to that as a world-class cricketer. Right? I think that would be brilliant to watch, Blewie.
Yeah, well, the teams that have had success, or the individuals that have had success against Nathan Lyon, are the guys that have attacked him. Doesn't matter where he's played throughout the world. And I think if he bowls a lot of overs in the Gabba Test, he's got to bowl from the end. I don't know what the ends are there, Haydos, but the opposite end to the commentary box, because if he bowls from the commentary box end, it's a short boundary, bloody straight, and over mid-wicket as well. I can just see them just parking him into the crowd no matter what. So if he bowls from that end where they've got to hit to longer boundaries, I think that's the way to go. But if I was England, we know that they want to attack the bowling, and that was their undoing against our quick bowlers, but definitely against Nathan Lyon, you've got to attack him.
The other thing we saw, and we were kind of on the lookout for as well, is England taking on boundaries and getting caught hold out in the deep. This is you're rightly saying towards Stanley Street. I think it is, Blue. It's quite short. In our day, Vulture Street end used to be the longer boundary, but now square of the wicket. I tell you, you've got to hit some crazy good middle to strike the maximum on the sides here. It's being an AFL ground. It's crazy both in this mid wicket and the backward point boundary. So don't be surprised to see a lot of English think that they've got the power to do it and not quite finding the mustard.
All right, boys. Another thing just before we get to what's flying on your radars. I was at home the other night, Bluey and Big Doss, and my beautiful wife had stayed in the West because she's doing a styling job for a house over there. So I got home and she wasn't home. So that rare opportunity to sit on your couch with your own remote and watch whatever you want without thinking this is going to bore the crap out of my better half, so I'll tailor the viewing. So I'm flicking around and I saw, which I know will be not a recent addition, an amazing documentary on Ben Stokes by a bloke called Sam Mendes, who's a very, very famous director, did one of the Bond movies, and I didn't realise he's a complete cricket nuffy. And so I don't know if you've seen it, Big Doss. It goes for about an hour, a bit more than an hour. fascinating because I know nothing about Ben Stokes. So I sat there, other than he's a freakish cricketer. So I sat and thought, I'm going to watch this just to get a feeling for this bloke. And he is a different cat. Like, he is a properly different cat. And it went through the highs and the lows. And, we know the journey that he's been on. But check it out if you haven't, because it really does give you an insight into Ben Stokes, the family man, devoted husband, but also, as a performer. They talked about the beast mode, how once he starts training DOS, he just attacks it like he attacks it like it's a personal contest with himself. And they show the vision of him doing it. It was really cool. I knew nothing about him. I now feel like I know a little bit about him.
Yeah, when you think about the greats, and I'm thinking about someone like Ben Cousins, when you were mentioning, having that kind of inner battle against himself under difficult circumstances, you think of Ben Stokes. But the one thing that I love, and I think that every selector on the planet should have this as a benchmark within their how they select sides. Everyone needs a ranger, a good old-fashioned spotty orange thing that just comes in and just makes shit happen. And that's Ben Stokes.
Who else are you putting in that category?
Whoa, geez, we haven't had a ranger Macca's a ranger, our current Australian coach, but that's not exactly a playing 11.
Yep.
I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that. You got me on
Brad
the spot
Haddon?
there. Hads, the Guito Hatsis, mate. Yeah. We haven't had many. Usually we go for that good, handsome chaps.
Well,
Sean Pollock.
Oh, Polly, yeah.
Wasn't Warney was borderline, wasn't he?
Oh, no,
he
not
did.
borderline. There was no borderline.
To get
The rinse was well and truly there. You can't be a borderline ranger. You either are or you aren't. And if you want to see if that's the case, just have a look at Brookie Warren. Oh, just gloriously red.
Yes. Yes. Well, Craig McDermott.
Yes.
Well, we're going back through him.
Yes.
Yeah.
A good
He
one.
made things happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Peter Taylor.
We ran into
the boat.
We ran into the boat, didn't we, the other day? Down on the golf day.
We did.
We dragged him out of Moree.
Heelzo.
Is he ranger?
Heelzo was red until he put some colour in there.
Oh.
Yep, I'm putting him in strawberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, strawberry. I'll go with that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe.
Strawberry blonde. Now, radar time, boys. Who wants to go first? What's on your radar?
I tell you who's on my radar is Virat Kohli. Like, how bloody good is he? Scored. We know that he's retired from Test match cricket, came to Australia and made a couple of ducks in ODI cricket, and everyone's going, oh, Virat. Living in London now, is he preparing properly? Made a brilliant 135 against South Africa the other night in the first ODI. Came in pretty early. But what I want to do is just take you through his stats because it is phenomenal. He's now got 52 centuries in ODI cricket at 58, right? Now, he's batted 294 times in ODI cricket for 5,200s. As I said, other great players that have played very well in ODI cricket from the same amount of innings, Sachin Tendulkar, 3,300s. So a long way behind Virat. That's 19 centuries behind. Our own Ricky Ponting, 294 innings for 2,600s, and Chris Gale with 2,500s. So
he's double.
The gulf there between Virat Kohli and those other great champions is unbelievable. So he was well and truly on my radar after that innings.
Well, Bluey, I watched, I reckon, 45 minutes of that. I couldn't watch any more. I had to go out. Not only did he bat the way has made the runs that you're discussing, he did it on his flute. He may as well have pulled the 8-day clock out and batted with that, is how easy he made it look. And I just was watching it. As I said, I only could watch 45 minutes. I'm like, you're just watching the master. You're watching the master in that format. It was so brilliant. All right, I'm going to do my radar. so that we can leave a big enough gap for the Dos to get his underway. And Dos, I'm aiming my radar at you.
Right. Okay.
All right?
Ooh.
Brisbane closing times.
Right.
Because we are going up there, Blewie, to do a day-night test where once the game finishes, it's 9:30-ish. So you get, by the time you get changed and you get into a car and you get back to the hotel, it's around about 10 and you are thirsty. Thirsty!
Yeah.
And every time this happens, you walk into a Brisbane hotel and bar and the lady or the man behind the jump says, "We've just called last drinks. You are done." Dos,
Yeah.
fix it.
Yeah. You're clearly not important enough. That's the bottom line.
No.
I'm James Brayshaw. I'm
Last time
I'm
we
a
sent
broadcast
Ponting in.
extraordinaire. Mate, pack your bags, Jumbo. Get planned. Get planned.
I sent the
Go
little
to a
Tasmanian in.
Doesn't matter, mate.
I
No one
sent
cares
the
about him
little
up here either.
Cap-wearing Tasmanian in. And I said, get in there and keep that bar open. And he couldn't even achieve
Mate,
it. What sort of joint are you living in?
You need to take a firm stance, JB. You need to have a good wide girth stance. And you need to put the chest out and say, this is unacceptable. I'm paying good money here to keep this joint open, and just own the dog. Right, that's rubbish radar from you anyway, JB. We've had enough of that.
Jeez.
All right, that's radar. You know it's true what I just said. It's 100% true.
It does hurt.
All right, what's on your radar?
It does hurt a little, I've got to say, but I live a long way out from anyone. So my radar has been, and this could be on all of our radars apart from the first ball of the first session commencing at 2:00 on Thursday, is that I have done nothing but mow, whippersnip, hedge, and trim pretty much everything on my property.
Your own back.
The Publix?
I'm getting there. I'm starting.
The Rubik's Cubes?
We're only 8 innings out. So no, I'm serious. Like literally, I'm looking at my lawn as we speak, and I'm hearing it grow. That's how bad it is. So I'm on the tractor, and I had this, and very wisely, I had this great bet with Alan Lamb, who's staying with us over the last week, and he and I had the arrangement that if he lost the first Test match, he was going to be on the push mower. Now he didn't realise at this stage that my backyard takes a whole day to mow. So the dog was down there draped in the 3 lines, and he was pushing on through the afternoon. I tell you, he was sucking up fluid amongst every the other fluid. He was sucking up. He had this thing. He had about an 8-litre bloody bottle of cold water, and he was just mowing through it. Good boy. So that's my radar.
All right, Bluey, good luck with the moon. I like the radars. Good luck with the moon boot.
Oh, yeah, Blue.
Yeah.
I want to see you on the golf course. I reckon I saw some vision of Kelly Slater a few years back with a moon boot on the driving range saying this is not going to beat me. So I want to see you doing the same sort of stuff.
Well, I've been in contact a lot with Ricky Ponting, who did his Achilles tendon. He required surgery. Remember how he did his, Haydos? He was filming a Crown Bet ad or something like that. And he had to pretend he was going to take a mark, AFL style, and bang, snapped his Achilles. And so he sort of
was happy about it too, wasn't he? He was happy at the time.
No, that's right. And he sent me through some photos. I mean, he said, I hope you've eaten. And he sent me through the surgery. It was shocking.
Yeah.
But he's telling me 4 to 5 months without golf. Surely I can get back a little bit quicker than that because
just get a cart.
JB, I hope there's a bit of...
Just got to get through that left side.
Dietary. What about a bit of dietary restraint as well? Otherwise, the little pot belly, the little roofer armour will start creeping in after 4 or 5 months.
Little veranda.
No, I'm going to look after myself.
Hey, that chassis being... See, when you're a big fella, you can hide
the vanity's going to have to kick in.
You can hide your glory a little bit as a big fella, but when you're waffer thin, it's trouble.
Yep. No pot bellies here, Dos.
Onto the pure blondes, Bluey.
No,
zero
nothing.
carb, buddy. Zero carb.
Very low cal.
Yeah.
All right. Well done, everyone. Now,
Water.
very special treat. on Thursday morning early before the Test match, we are going to drop an all-over bar the cricket special with Travis Head, the man who tore the Perth Test to shreds.
Ripped them.
So make sure early Thursday you are going to download that episode, listen to it on the podcast, of course, or get your Instagram sorted out, or on YouTube, where you must subscribe. That will be one for the ages, because Hetty, not only a great mate of all of ours, but an absolute ripping chat. So that is coming out Thursday morning. Blewie, get yourself in order.
Yeah.
You've let the side down. Big Doss, can't wait to see you in Brisbane. And for everyone else, this has been All Over Bar the Cricket.